All right, let's go ahead and get it started. How's everybody doing? You guys can see I have Gabe above me. Let's do an audio check. It's Monday, and let's make sure I don't have any echo and I'm back to normal. You can see behind me I have gold. We're going to be trading gold to our beautiful gold trade to start the session. Go ahead and talk, Gabe. Welcome to Slow Markets. Let's make sure that your audio sounds good as well.
Yeah, good evening, good evening. What's going on, family? How's everybody feeling?
So it sounds like I sound good. You sound good to me, Gabe. Let's just make sure that there's not an echo. I broke my headphones right before stream. I'll go over that long story on how I broke my headphones over the weekend. Someone say Gabe is low. Let's see if we can make sure your audio is good. All right, sounds good to me.
Yo.
Sounds good. Welcome, Rips. Rips is in the house joining us tonight, or at least in the chat. Had a great time in Vegas with him. But let's jump into this gold trade. Let me get one more thing that I always sometimes forget. That's our Topstep risk disclosure. So give me a minute while I get that, and we'll talk through this gold trade. But here's an hourly chart on gold. Gold futures. We had that huge sell-off overnight, and we started to get a little bit of a bounce. We're back here at 2370, 2369, and there's a little bit of resistance here back on July 2nd and July 4th. So we definitely could see this turn into resistance again. Now, it's the top of the hour. It's right at 8:01 p.m. Central Standard Time, and this is when we get that nice spike in volatility. Have you been following slow markets, Gabe?
Yeah, doing my best. Not every night, but here for the most part.
And how do you feel? How do you think about this? What's your thoughts on this gold trade? I'm looking for either a break up or a breakdown, preferably a breakdown to see if we could come back down and test these 60s. If we do get a break up, then maybe we could get all the way back up to the 70s, 72, 73, essentially kind of like a bracket or right into the middle. What's your thoughts? Have you traded this? Have you done any trading like this at all?
The only trade I took was that one short we tried the last time I was on. So I don't usually trade evenings like this. So this is, it's new to me.
Got it.
I'm going to try to approach it the best way I can.
Fair. That's fair enough. And just so everybody knows, I have Gabe on tonight, and I'm thinking a little bit of conversation behind the stream about having you on more frequently. What's your thoughts on coming on to slow markets a little more frequently, doing some Q&A, talking about trading the overnight session from you're not a newbie where you know how to trade, you know a lot about the markets, you know the lingo, but more of an intermediate, if I'm able to say that.
Yep, I agree 100%. I would love to, man. I mean, one, it's more time with you guys, more time with everybody in chat here, a lot of familiar faces. It would be great for me to kind of get involved a little bit more in this, in the evening, in this type of quote unquote slow markets where there's a little bit less volume. I think it's going to help me build a little bit more patience in a trade as well, just because things take a little longer to play out typically, from at least my understanding of this type of time of day. But yeah, I'd love to.
Perfect. Well, we'll see. We'll try and get something more consistent on the schedule so everybody knows and can plan when you're on here. We kind of do, I don't know if I want to call it a coaching, an intermediate, something that we could consistently show traders, because I know you're trying to show traders, right, how to go through the whole program and go through a combine, get through an XFA, hopefully get to a live account and do all your trades live, and then give you an opportunity that maybe you could find some trade setups during the overnight session to show traders that you might have a job, you might do have something going on during the New York session. You could trade, right? And maybe you could find something. Maybe it works for you. Maybe it doesn't. But we'll see. Hopefully we could get a lot of questions and good questions answered for that. And then as you can see, we did post our Topstep risk disclosure. As always, this is slow markets. This is for educational purposes only. This isn't trading advice. We all have our own free will to buy and sell the markets. And this is not a signals class. And then as we're going through this class, if you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in this chat. The chat tends to go really quick. And so we have some amazing moderators who's going to be sending me some of the questions that I do miss. I'm going to be focusing on Gabe. Gabe's going to be asking some questions as we go through this, and hopefully we can answer them. So let's walk through this gold trade. We're kind of in a middle area like we were just talking about. This is a 1 minute chart. We could kind of zoom out on a 5 minute chart as well. And I'm getting used to Topstep X. As you guys can see, this is Topstep X. I have 150K combines that I am practicing getting used to. So you can see there's some resistance here that I was talking about around 2370. There's also some resistance in the same zone. Like, this is a great support and resistance zone. So that way, you know, we can have either a breakdown or a break up. Now, golds, we're not really moving since we've started. It's already 8:05 p.m. Central Standard Time, and typically we start to see some volatility. This is the combine. It's being copy trade, 5 total combine. So if I enter 1 contract, it's technically like entering 5. I don't know if you know this, Gabe. Everyone's been talking about it. I've been struggling with my live account. It's the summer. It's summer trading. Summer trading is very tough, and I'm on a drawdown. I'm gonna draw down about like $45,000 in my live account, and usually it's nice to just take a step back and practice in a demo account, practice in a combine, practice in I don't want to say practice in XFA, but yeah, take a step back when you're not reading the markets 100%, especially when the markets are going a little bit crazy like it has been, just all-time highs. And I'll talk about the NASDAQ in just a moment. If gold doesn't move.
Yeah, gold's not doing a whole lot quite yet, at least.
Yeah,
kind of just ranging. Failed to make a higher high in the 1 minute just a few candles ago, but it looks like we're going to push back up and make a higher high.
Yep, I'm going to get in long. I'm going to go ahead and get in long. I'm going to get my stop loss at 68 and 2/10. I'm going to get in long to play for a breakout. I'm a little bit early. The more patient play is to wait until we break 70, but we'll see. Gold hasn't really moved a lot, so maybe being a little bit impatient. I'm still getting used to this, so bear with me, Gabe. I don't have the amazing chart skills that I have on the platform that I'm used to. We'll see how this one goes. So I'm going to add to this position. We'll see how this looks adding into a position here on Topstep X. If we do get that breakout above 2370, and like I said, I'm getting used to this, so bear with me, everybody. It's going to take me some time to get used to doing this charts, doing drawings, doing those fun little circles that everyone sees me do on here. And while we're waiting, feel free to ask any questions as we go about this. Anything that you might be thinking. This is a breakout trade. This is typically a harder trade for traders to take. Going a breakout, traders like to trade reversals. I like to trade reversals. A lot of new traders like to trade reversals. Counter trend trading. Some of the hardest trade is a breakout trade because you don't get the best risk reward. But when you're getting in as the market's going in your favor, you do have a little bit higher probability, because as you're getting in when the market's going in your favor, that just increases the probability, right?
Yeah, typically on a breakout trade, though, you want momentum, right? You don't want it to just like run a stop and then just reverse the other way. Do you find slow market breakouts statistically to be just as accurate, like for you, or just as quality, let's just say? Or do you find them to be lacking a little bit just due to the volume coming in and the, let's say, lack of momentum?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good question. Typically in slow markets, the Asian session, we don't get really great breakout trades because we're looking at higher time frames a lot. For example, a 5 minute or a 1 hour chart. However, this gold trade Yes, we're looking for momentum. This is a breakout trade. That we're looking for something to happen. We want movement. We want action. We're starting to get a little bit of that right now, to where as soon as we get a break, we want gold to move. So very similar to the New York session. When we get that break, we want momentum. We want movement, and we're starting to get it into contracts. Where would we start to take profit is the next question. First area, I look over to my left. Over here last night, it was actually this morning, we did see a little bit of consolidation right around 72. So I'd be okay if we could get maybe 72.2. I'm not sure. Maybe it looks like it's only letting me get out of 2 of them. Maybe I just try and peel one off one at a time. Just get out of one, then get out of another one. We'll see. We got to complete this breakout. I would like to see us break above this 70. Oh, there we go. There's that breakout. Now here's a question for you, Gabe. Do you like to move your stop loss?
I do. I typically try to remove or reduce risk once we get to about 1-to-1. Some may say that's a little bit too early. That's what I've been practicing as of late, is getting in the habit of removing or at least reducing risk once price starts moving away in my favor. That does bite me sometimes, though. Okay. Price comes back and retests the zone of interest, and that's where I usually have to look at either re-entering or watching it go without me.
Oh, fair enough. So if you were in this trade, you could see my charts, right? And if you were in this trade, this is a 1-minute time frame. This is a really quick trade compared to what I'm used to, because we're just playing a breakout of the volatility here at 8 p.m. Central for gold. Walk me through your process. Like, what would you be thinking at this point? When would you be wanting to move your stop loss? Do you have any targets on gold? Do you even trade gold?
Not a whole lot, no. But in terms of what I'd be looking for, I do like the structure, using structure as a way to consider managing a trade. So in addition to just mechanical, reward to risk ratios, you could just wait for, in this case, if you're using 1-minute structure to get in, you'd wait for a higher low to form. Mm-hmm. And then from there, continue to trail underneath the new pivots or those lower or higher lows, use those as a way to start managing the trade, and then holding it to, we're looking like we're just going to go ahead right up to the 72s, 73s. I know that's where you're originally saying you might consider targeting or removing some of the 2 contracts that you've got on. But yeah, structure is one way to do it.
Interesting. Yeah, I love structure. If you've watched my slow markets all the time, that's what I like to play. Higher time frames, I love the structure. I've started to dabble, I guess, a little bit more in reading DOM, reading the depth of market, and a few other things. It's been a while, but I'm a technical analysis trader, and here we go. I'm going to try and just get out of one at the ask. So got out of one. Going to move my stop loss to just about break even. Lock in this other one. This is times 5. Now remember, everybody, this is times 5. This is copied amongst 5 of them. So the next area that I'm starting to see, maybe we see 73.3, maybe 73.3. That could be a good one. We can zoom out a little bit more. Sometimes in this type of a situation, I would like to go to bed and let this trade run overnight. Have you ever let a trade run overnight?
Man, I used to back in the day, but they would bite me so badly because I'd fall asleep before. Back in the day, I had some pretty bad habits. This was like 7-8 years ago when I was first getting into the markets between like 2014 and 2016. And I would let trades go with no stop loss. But now that I'm further in my trading, that is not the case. One, I don't usually leave trades on overnight. And then second of all, I'm always using stop losses.
You've learned the hard way? Is that what you're saying?
Too many times, man. Too many times.
Man, thank goodness for Topstep's daily loss limit. I'm sure I've heard some traders where they would leave and something was to happen, or the market's like some dramatic news event, and not even a stop loss. Like the slippage that will happen in a live account, or maybe they just forget to have their stop loss on. And like, oh, thank goodness for Topstep's daily loss limit, or else they would have blown an account. I run into some bad situations where I leave a trade running overnight and we have some dramatic news event, and I get some pretty bad slippage, but nothing as dramatic as blowing an account. And now we're starting to get that resistance. This is a great example of exactly what I was talking about from a technical standpoint, right? So if we zoom to a 5-minute chart, you can't really see it as good. Trying to see if there's a good visual. I think this 1-minute chart explains it the best. Let's see if I could scoot this over. We went right up and we tagged that level we were looking for, right there at 23.72, and just barely broke above it and headed right back down. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Call that one good. I'm going to call that one good.
I like it. That's a good area. I really, honestly, it looks more like a potential reversal zone. I'm just looking at what you got.
You know, I think it did. I think it closed out of my my NASDAQ trade.
Oh, did it flatten everything?
I think it flattened. I think all just flattened everything. I was in a NASDAQ trade, Gabe, and I was in that NASDAQ trade, everybody. I think it just flattened it too.
Did your dome have NQ selected or gold at the time?
No, it had gold. Let's see. Did it just flatten out of everything? It liquidates all. Yes, it does. It does. I should have just flattened on. They're talking about a rookie mistake.
Bummer, man.
Hey,
I mean, good thing you're in combines,
profit's
right?
Profit, okay?
Yeah.
Profit's
100%.
profit. We all live and learn. But I was short the NASDAQ. Let's see. Where can we do this? Is that it? No, it's right there. Let's say, yeah, it did. That's okay. I was short 3 contracts on the NASDAQ. This is part of getting used to a new platform. I ran into this a few times, but that's okay. You can see where I entered the trade over here on the NASDAQ. We rallied up so hard after the close of the New York session. So might as well, since I'm already talking about it, let's just continue to talk about it. And I'll talk about this trade. I could always hop back in it, but yeah, anyway, that's okay. That sucks sometimes. But let's talk about this trade, Gabe. I'm going to go over it. You probably know my rapid fire where I'd go through all of these different markets. We'll go through them. It's going to be a little bit slower on my end because, like I said, I'm getting used to Topstep X, and we're going to be talking about some amazing Topstep X features that I absolutely love, and is the reason why I am continuing to switch over Topstep X. And I think you know what they are, Gabe. And man, I cannot tell you how excited I am for this new feature that they've been talking about, and I'm going to be testing and seeing those out. But let's take a look. I'm going to get rid of this because I have just a pet peeve of having clean charts. But let's start on a daily chart. And as I go through this, feel free to ask me any questions, Gabe. This is the daily chart on the NASDAQ. And as you can see, it's just been up and to the right. I've been struggling in this market. I've taken losses. Obviously, today I was up 15,000 on a short gold trade. I was in a short gold trade last night. I was up $15,000 in my live account. Then today during the New York session, I freaking got my butt handed to me, and I ended up giving up a little bit more than half. I still ended the day positive, but it still sucks giving up half or a little bit more than half of your profits. It's just been killing me. It really has. And it's been my mindset. It's the summer. It's just the way I've been looking at this market, where I've been looking for not even a pullback. Like I don't even want a pullback. I haven't been playing for a pullback, like sell because we're going to pull back. I've really just been trying to range trade this with a little bit tilted to the bearish side. On a lot of my personal accounts, I've been selling covered calls. I've been hedging a lot of my long-term positions. I've been buying some puts. If anybody knows options, it's essentially I'm a lot more bearish now. We did get this one pullback here on the June 20th through the 24th, 25th, and ever since we've started to get up into this area, into like the 500, 600s, I was kind of looking for some consolidation, just any type of consolidation, but that's has not been the case. It's just been all-time highs, and continuing to push all-time highs. And then sure enough, at the end of today, we just rallied and we took the top off, and more all-time highs. And then overnight, as soon as the market opened up again tonight, we're all the way up to 20,732 more, and once again, all-time highs. So it's hard to trade this. And now, of course, it's easy to say, just close your eyes and buy it, because with hindsight, it's easy to say, buy it, the trend's going up. But it's very difficult for me in my style of trading to get really good risk rewards, trying to position to get into the trades. We really want some type of pullback like we've been getting. I mean, look at this type of a market. The beginning of the year, the first quarter, you could see here. Let's see if I could do these fun Alt T. So let's experiment with some of this. So let's go Alt T. So this kind of a market, right, where this is pretty simple and straightforward, right? You're just buying the dips and being in a buy the dip mentality. Well, in a market like this that we have been in for the past week or two, there has not been very many dips to buy, and it's been very hard to buy the dips in my case. And it's not with everybody, it's just with me, and it's just been going up and up and up. And then we zoom into an hourly chart. So here's an hourly chart, and this might explain it a little bit better. It's kind of been stair-stepping, right? Where let's do my magic trend. So we've just been, stair-stepping, where we go rally, we kind of go sideways or flat, and rally, sideways, flat, and then it's just been stair-stepping all the way up. And the market's been doing it. It hasn't really gave great buying opportunities. Typically, we would look for a little bit of a pullback, 100 plus points type of a pullback to buy the dip, but they've just been stair-stepping. I was looking for today to be more of consolidation, maybe find a little bit of a pullback below 600. That didn't happen. We've just rallied and went straight up. And kind of funny, the funny thing is if we zoom out and we go back to previous, so back here in June, it was kind of the same thing, right? We rally and we stair-step, rally, stair-step, rally, stair-step. And then we had this nice little pullback from 20,360 all the way back down to pretty much a 600-point pullback. And that was a very nice pullback. And now we're starting to trend and go up again, and just no consolidation, and I've got my butt handed to me. So I struggle in this kind of a market when we don't have good pullbacks and we don't have good risk rewards to the buy side, and it's this. Even as a bullish trader, it's been very hard for me. What is your thoughts, or if you have any questions on this so far?
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts are, I agree with you that the longs are trying to find a way to enter this market. I mean, if you've been trying to call tops, that's just been disastrous. But regardless, if you're long biased, the issue has been trying to find quality locations of where to get in. You kind of almost have to wait for a manipulative move to happen in the morning. And the points of reversal are really not in my opinion, in very well-placed strategic locations. Like, it's a lot of stop runs. And I've been, I love NQ, but we all know it's extremely violent, and it can, before it really chooses a direction, like we saw today, price action was extremely rough. We were making just contradicting lows and highs all over the place. I've been struggling too. I mean, to be real with you, I mean, obviously my first couple weeks in the combine and this road to funding journey was extremely difficult. I was over trading a little bit, but when it came down to it, the NQ is, unless you're just buying, entering in the morning and using an extremely wide stop just to kind of compensate for the whipsaw or that kind of nature that market has, it's been pretty difficult to stay in a trade.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really a see profit, take profit. And I struggle with that because I like to hold trades longer. Today it was the same thing. I have the 5-minute chart pulled up here in the NASDAQ, and I was just in the mentality, I'm like, okay, buy low, sell highs. We were consolidating throughout most of the day. I did end up selling, the 44s right before power hour, and then we pushed down around like 620s, and I was playing for a break of 600. So this is about where we were, and I got in short. I had a great position on 644s, and looking, I'm like, okay, this is looking great. I'm expecting a breakdown. Maybe we could go back down and test 600s. I'll take off some there and then see if we could push down maybe even a little bit lower. But sure enough, power hour came, and halfway through we just ripped higher and did not even look back. And sure enough, here we are, over 100 points higher a few hours later. And it's tough because we do have news coming out this week. We have Papa Pal, as you guys know, speaking tomorrow. We have CPI coming, and we've just been going up and up. And someone in the chat asks, you hear people talk all the time about summer. What does summer have to do with anything? Or at least what's your understanding, Gabe, of summer and how it affects your trading?
For me, I'd say it typically is, there's seasonal tendencies, right, to the market. If you go back, I don't have a ton of data to talk about this, so I'm not going to speak too long on it, but it does have seasonal and cyclical tendencies. Certain quarters have certain types of movement. Some are directional. Some are a little bit more, consolidation or, non-directional, right, ranging.
Yeah.
Trending environments are usually a little bit less frequent, right? Where, granted that I think the equity market, the long term, has been a little bit less rangy, more directional, but just in a longer sense of time, right? On a day-to-day, intraday basis, it's a little bit more range bound. But if you're just like we did it, did you see the statistic that Jack talked about the other day on Topstep TV, where if you would have bought at the beginning of the month and just let it ride with like a 20K, I think it was like either a 15K or 20K stop loss, you'd be up like 150 something grand.
I think I've seen something like that. Yeah, it's true, right? It's that hindsight trading. A lot of what I used to do and what I do, I dabble in options, right? I'm an options trader. And sometimes I'll put on, a 1 or 2 contract and futures, roll it over. And that's part of it, right? Sometimes it's a lot easier to have that long-term view in trading, where it's like, the market, it comes and goes. We have dips. When it dips, just buy it, looking for longer terms. But we're day trading. We're here at Topstep. We're day trading. And it's always nice to have that longer term perspective. That's why I love looking at the hourly chart. That's why I love looking at these higher time frames. And then we start to zoom in to the 5 minutes, and that's where we start to execute a lot of our intermediate. And for me, it's overnight, or during the New York session, it's scalping. I don't scalp a lot, meaning looking for just 5 or 10 points. Of course, there's a lot of times where I could say, I really wish I would have just took 10 points and I would have been better off. I like to look for a bit longer, 25 plus points, those bigger runs, because I'm trying to have it correlate with those hourly charts and these higher time frame charts to where I do catch a runner. And, when I'm in a situation right now, and everybody knows this, and maybe you have a little bit of an idea, is I have a very skewed risk reward, or a win ratio, where I'm looking for 4-to-1 risk reward trades. And the downside about that is when I run into a situation like these last 2 weeks where I'm struggling, I just hit loss after loss after loss after loss after loss. And then one of these days, having a nice good week will make up for all those losses, and I'm immediately back up to new equity highs. But it just sucks. It really does. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. I struggle with it a lot. You guys are seeing it here at Topstep TV, where I would continue to hit loss after loss. And then the next thing I know, big winning day that makes up for, 4 or 5 of my daily losses in a row. And then I start getting into a good rhythm like I was back in February, March, and April, and I make $250,000 in 3 months. But then the rest of the time, it's a grind. And that's what people don't really see. Is it's nice and fancy when you start to show, hey guys, everybody, I just made $250,000 in 3 months. But then the reality of trading is the other, 9 months, it's a grind. You're grinding, you're losing, you're just trying to stay above the water, and then you start to get into a rhythm, the markets start to turn good, and you just make all your money there. I don't know if you watch poker. Do you watch poker, Gabe?
Not a whole lot, no.
Okay, well, if anybody here likes to watch poker, one of my favorite poker players, Daniel Negreanu, and I think this is a good analogy, is this year he entered a whole bunch of poker tournaments, and it was just loss after loss after loss, and he's struggling for pretty much most of the year. And then it just took, a nice good streak and good consistent playing, and he's up $250,000 after being down almost $800,000. But that's what it takes. It takes consistency, grinding through, knowing the statistics. And as we're talking about statistics, this is going to be a good segue into what we're going to be talking about with Topstep. And you already know a lot about, and maybe we could pull over to your account here in just a second. But having that type of a mentality, having these type of statistics and understanding your statistics will help build that confidence, knowing when you're placing a trade, regardless of what the outcome is, we're not looking at the results for that one trade. We're not looking at the results for this one day, this 1 week, not even this 1 month. We're looking at the results for a much longer period of time. And we're looking to become a consistent, profitable trader over the long run, and not just try and hit these, home runs, hit these good trades, and do really, really good for next, 1 or 2 weeks, and then just lose it all. So if you don't mind, Gabe, I'm gonna switch it to your charts, and you want to show us the new Topstep X dashboard?
Let's do it.
And I'm going to take a drink because my mouth is getting dry. So
if you guys have not seen, we have a new update for Topstep X. We released a performance dashboard. So you notice that in the far left-hand side of the platform, in the little vertical toolbar, the third button down is the performance stats. Now, this used to be pretty limited, pretty basic, but on Sunday night, they released a major update that has a lot of great detail and a lot more depth to your performance reports. So you get to, first of all, just get way more data. So way more specifics. Obviously, you have the simple things like total profit and loss, your win-loss ratio, your average win versus your loss. So it's kind of like your reward to risk. Profit factor, and then you start going down. You have your equity curve for your balance essentially over that period of time, over that date range that you're selecting. Tips from Coach T. So one reminder that I got today, in addition to earlier this morning, one was about over trading. So it said, hey, you took 52 trades in 6 days. Like, you should probably be mindful of the frequency that you're trading, just to avoid over trading. But the one that just showed up here just a moment ago when I refreshed was Monday appears to be one of my most challenging trading days. Just being more selective with trades on those days. And that's correct. Mondays and Fridays are statistically my worst 2 days. If I just avoided those and just traded middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'd probably be much better off. But me trying to overcome boredom and want to just be in the markets for being in the markets because I just love watching charts, that's something that I need to be a little bit more cautious about, is entering on Mondays and Fridays. And you just continue to scroll down. You have a lot of great detail. So my average winning trade is 282 across so far. These June 26th is when I started this combine, this 100K. Average loser is about 111. Best trade was 861. Gives you the details, so it tells you what specific trade, the date, the time. So I really like that. My worst trade was $312, and that was on the 28th, pretty much 2 days into the combine. And you just continue to scroll down. A lot of great additional content. What I really love is the P&L calendar. And if you click on a specific day, you can break down each trade that was actually taken on that single day. So you see on Friday the 5th, which was this past Friday, just after the 4th of July holiday, I had one trade, just an absolute banger, home run. And that the couple days prior to, though, I had 7 trades, started in a pretty negative, just kind of taking small losses, getting paper cut to death essentially, and then hit a couple nice green, winners at a couple of $200 and a $500 winner that made up for that and left some on top, which is great. But it breaks down each individual trade that you take, everything from, your entry, the exit time, the price points, commission, P&L, any or the fees, and then the direction of the trade. So pretty much everything you need tucked into that P&L calendar, breaking down each individual day.
I'm so excited about this, Gabe. You don't even know how excited
man.
I am. Danielle behind the scenes, like, hey, prepare, talk about this, that. I'm like, you don't even have to remind me. This is one of my favorite things. Like, this continues to bring Topstep and Topstep X to the next level. Like, this is something that I try and do. Everyone's talking about Tradezilla, different other softwares, different ways to keep track of this. And you know what I just seen and what I just realized? I'm going to go to my charts. I wanted this. I didn't know this. This is in the notes, and I understood it, but I didn't realize how fast it really was. So those trades I just took, I looked at the statistics, and they're already on here.
Yeah, as soon as you exit, after each round trip trade, they update immediately. So it's pretty much as close to real time as you can get.
Yeah, and then there's the Coach T tip. Trading can be a lonely profession when you're not in front of the screen all day. Check out our Discord community to find a trading buddy to bounce strategies off of and help hold each other accountable. I love that. But then here, look at this. I mean, immediately, this is like a custom thing for me, I assume, because I just placed these trades no longer than an hour. And it says your most successful trading time appears between 4 and 8 p.m. Consider focusing more of your trading activity during this time slot. That's amazing. Like, I don't think traders, how amazing this actually is. Yeah, I have no words for this. I'm going to continue to just watch this and monitor it. And this is just so amazing for traders who are learning and all of the details. And this has just been, 5 trades. I could imagine once we start to build some statistics like you've done, or even over a period of 3 months, we're going to go through and look, it already has my trades, 5 trades, 685. Of course, this is copied between 5, so I imagine I could go do this on each one of them, and I'd have to go through. Like, this is so awesome. And
yeah,
this
did
is
you see the shareable link too in the top right hand corner? You can hit that little share toggle and copy a link and share that real-time report with anybody.
Okay,
like I just posted mine on Twitter, so that was
okay.
Yeah,
so
mine's on my Twitter.
I'm going to share
so
this
everybody
with
can
you,
track that.
Gabe. I'm going to share this with you on Slack.
Okay.
Let's see if it pulls up. I'm going to switch it to your screen, and I want to see if it pulls up.
I need to get the link pulled up here. Copy link.
Yeah, let me know when you're available. I'll switch it back to your thing.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. You can see my statistics.
Yep. And I like that I can customize the range. Even though I'm on your report, I can actually go look at a particular period of time.
Uh-oh. So you mean I can't just show you my profitable day and you I won't get away with it?
Correct.
Oh, man.
This is true transparency at its finest.
Oh, dang. Well, some people's going to have a hard time with that one. I can't just share with you my one profitable day. You'll be able to go through and see my everything on this one account. You're essentially sharing the statistics of the entire account then, right? Like, yep. Hey, take a look at my
just
account.
That one account though. You have to create a shareable link for each account. So if you had, individual accounts that you wanted to share, you would do the same thing. Just select the account in the top left drop down, hit the performance reports tab or performance stats tab, and then copy that new link.
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense. Man, there's still a lot. Like this is new and it was released today, right? And so with anything that Topstep does, it's going to continue to improve. I'm super excited. I'm going to be trading these combines. We're going to be going through this. I'll be able to, this helps me as a coach. This helps me as a trader in general as well. So that way, even if I have a trader that could share with me, their trading, right? Like, hey, will you take a look at my trading combine? And I'm like, yeah, let's pull it up, and then we could talk about this live, maybe during a class, or maybe me and you could talk about your account or my account, and we could go through this. And I absolutely know that this is going to be such a huge help. I could probably spend the rest of this session talking just about this. But anyway, that being said, since you said that, let's ask everybody a question, okay? So I've had this. Maybe you could chime in on it a little bit, Gabe. This weekend, maybe I'll talk about it a little bit this morning or tomorrow morning when I'm on Fast Markets with MP and Rips. I went canoeing, and man, that was, I don't know, I still haven't decided whether I had fun or not, but we went to the Tetons near Jackson Hole. Okay. I didn't know what I signed up for. I thought, like, we're going to go canoeing and then backpacking and go camping for a day. And we ended up canoeing for over 17 miles. Wow. 7 hours on Saturday. It's just spent canoeing and paddling, and I was freaking exhausted. We finally got to where our camp spot is. I got ate alive by mosquitoes, sunburnt, woke up Sunday morning, and we had to paddle all the way back. And it was just, I don't know if it was fun or not. I think it was one of those things where it's like, we're miserable, but then when you're dad, and like everyone's like, oh, that was fun. I'm like, really? Was it? Like, was it? Yeah, we got some beautiful pictures, and maybe I'll share them. But that being said, I've got a lot of requests from everybody is, should I get a social media account? And I figured, yes. Here's the thing, is I don't like social media, and I don't like all the drama and the BS and the crap that goes on social media. But I've got a lot of requests from traders that maybe I can post maybe something like that, or some advice or something. So I'm going to put that poll in the chat, and let's see what everyone says. I'm thinking is, if this is a long shot, if I do, I'm not going to be responsive. I'm not going to be replying to people or saying, oh, good, like, how's this? Or how is this? Back and forth. I think it might just be something, if, traders want to know what's going on with me, maybe I could post some fun stuff like that. So let's see what the traders and what everybody in here decides, because I'm curious. I'm doing this for you guys, not me, because it's 100% for you guys. I've had traders talk to me all the time. Hey, what's your social media? What's your social media? Like, how can we get access to you? I don't have social media. If you want to find me, come to my YouTube channel. So we'll see.
So far, you're off the hook. So far, you're off the hook. Man, I think it would be not a bad idea. I totally get, it would take some time to build a habit of sharing a little bit more about, what you feel comfortable sharing in terms of what's going on in your life. I think people getting a little bit more of a glimpse into what you do outside of trading isn't a bad thing. Like canoeing, or, maybe, I don't know, maybe you and Rips went on some other adventure, or, you had some advice, some update to give, or, just there's some numerous reasons why you could have it. But you're right that it is one of the more distracting and typically very burdening, outlets, right? Yeah. All social media. Now I'm off most everything except for my photography and videography is on Instagram, and then my Twitter is just for like how I interact with our community and posting updates about my road to funding and stuff. But outside of that, you don't really see much of me online. So I get wanting to have some sense of privacy to an extent still. And they're not going to get the whole story, right? They're not going to get every aspect of your life. It's just what you feel willing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, if I ever got a social media, it'd be more like I would just post an update and say, today I hit my daily loss limit, or today this happened. Because I do that right now in Discord, and then I do it in the TopstepTV YouTube chat. Like, hey guys, I'm looking to short this, and I start talking about the markets. I would never get involved in any conversation in the Twitter or X or whatever. But I've had requests doing that. But I said, I had a conversation with Danielle off the screen. I said, hey, Danielle, what's your thoughts on this? And I'm like, I really want to find a way, because traders, they just want access to me. And then I'm like, well, maybe that is the reason why Topstep VIP is going to be so amazing. I'm on Discord, and maybe that's just such a great thing of Topstep VIP. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll at this. So the 55% says no, and I'm going to say no. I am not going to get social media. You guys said no. I'm going to go through that. And that being said, Danielle, I won the bet. Danielle thought it was going to be closer to 75% of you guys would say yes, and I'd say like, no. Traders care about me. Traders know how toxic social media will be, and I won that bet. I'm excited for the bet. We had a little wager going.
So Jay thinks you should be on TikTok doing dances and stuff.
Might as well. That's just as good of content as the rest of the crap on there. Good. Well, I mean, at least that proves I have this is such a great slow market. I know there's a lot of traders who would love to have more access to me, but I'm going to focus more on growing slow markets, providing this, having you on my slow markets a lot more. Maybe we could do something, and the goal is to help traders in any way possible. There's Danielle in the chat. I really thought everyone would want more access. Danielle, they do. They want more access. They want more Coach Dakota, but they don't want to. They care about me a lot more. I think that's what the ultimate thing is.
You built a little slow turtle family here. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody's trying to watch out for your sanity.
Yeah, it's the no BS. Oh, which is fun. All my free time that I do have, I'm actually preparing for the Series 3. I'm going to probably take the Series 3 within a month, get that going, and getting some more consistent stuff on this slow markets class.
Heck yeah, man. MP just put in the Slack that he wants all of us to do that. So I'm going to have to order a book and start studying as well. But pretty much by August, they want all of us on air to have passed the Series 3.
It's important. It really is. It's literally going to be taking Topstep to another level. It just continues to go, just like the NASDAQ, next level, where we have a lot of traders around the world, and it's internationally, right, Gabe, where it's not just, us here in the U.S. We have traders internationally and around the world, and new traders, traders just in high school and just in college, or even older, throughout every step in their life, coming and getting into this futures market and learning, how do I trade? How do I become financially independent? How do I learn how to make money in the futures industry or in trading in general at a lower cost than doing it, like putting money into the markets themselves and opening their own personal account? And having a company and having a prop firm that shows that they know what they're doing, licensed Series 3, is able to provide this content for everybody here on YouTube for free and ask these questions, answer these questions, have traders like you, Gabe, who isn't prideful, is very humble and could say, I just reset my Combine account, or, I don't know everything. I'm not a professional trader and I'm learning. Or someone like Danielle, who does a lot of work behind the scenes here at Topstep, but yet she was on with me just the other week, and she was messaging me today. She's like, hey, I just took some trades last night. Trying to understand, a little bit about what you're talking through. So big shout out to you, Danielle.
Heck yeah.
That you were taking your first trades. And even though they were a loss, it's baby steps. It really is your first steps. And I hope to have Danielle on here a lot more as well, to where, she just learned what a candlestick is and go through that process to become maybe you can become funded, maybe eventually use that as, an income supplement to where she gets a little bit of money on that, right? And that is what the ultimate goal is. I mean, you don't have to become a full-time futures trader where you're making it your full-time income, because it's not for everybody. There's so many traders who would be happy with, what's an extra $1,000 mean to you every single month? If you could have an extra $1,000 a month put towards, anything that you so fit, around the world, you can imagine what it would mean for somebody in different countries is what we want. That's what I want. And then there's different stages, right? Everybody here, there's 2,000 plus traders that come join me during slow markets a lot. We have 1,800 now. Everybody's at their various stages. Everybody's either looking to become a full-time trader, looking to become intermediate. Maybe it's just a part-time, a hobby, a consistent. Wherever you're at we're trying to help you get to that next level. We're trying to help you accomplish that goal. And it's very difficult for us as a coach. And you probably understand that, right, Gabe? Is how do I cater to someone that is on Danielle's level? How do I cater to somebody that's on an intermediate like yourself level? Or how do we cater to someone who is a lot more advanced, but then they're just struggling maybe mentally and trying to get back into it? So all walks of life. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to have you on here a lot more, Gabe.
Me too, man.
Hopefully we
Thanks
can
for having me.
Danielle on here, and maybe we could get you back Thursday. We're going to have Coach Jay on Wednesday, and then maybe have you back Thursday. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'd love to. I think it would be good to, I don't know about you guys and what the chat would like, but when I'm on in slow markets, obviously knowing that I don't typically trade a lot of slow markets, I'm going to be looking to Dakota to kind of just continue to do his normal process, right? I don't want to interfere with the things he normally does in his checklist, to make sure you guys get a little bit of some insight on what he's looking at and what he's looking for, because we only get him typically in the evenings outside of some of the day show. But when it comes down to it, I would like to have some sort of agenda, or if you guys want to, put some topics suggested in the chat, what you'd like us to talk about a little bit more in depth, whether it's, my process or strategy, whatever comes to mind that you guys think would be valuable for the time spent. I know it's a short amount of time, right? We get an hour together. So it is a little tough sometimes to pack everything in, but I would like to kind of expand a little bit more into some deeper conversations and,
yes.
Make sure
that is the goal, Gabe, is getting things set. I don't know if you know this, but guess what? I've cut off a little bit of some of my prior commitments, and I'm now going to be spending a little bit more time growing this. And part of that is you, trying to get something consistent with you, starting to get something more concrete, building a very amazing show and network and way to teach and coach and go through this process. And it's not just I'm going to hop on here and just BS and talk about trading, and a lot of it is informal, but we do need a great mix of the informalness and then more formal, and then getting something very consistent and making this as great as a show and what do we want to call this, network, as possible. So it's all rough right now. We're still figuring some things out, and we'll continue to do that. But last question before we leave, because I have a lot of traders asking me this, is why did I short the NASDAQ? Well, I sure as heck wish I was still in it, but that's okay. Spilt milk, NASDAQ selling right back off. But here is the trade. So I want to make sure everybody knows. Here's this trade. Let me switch over to my charts. 5-minute chart. Everybody knows I love a good 3-bar reversal. This is a 5-minute chart. So we closed at 2 p.m. all the way down here around 670. Let's just call it 676. 676. We closed around 676, 20,676. And after that, we kind of consolidated, and then when we opened up again at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, boom, we rallied more, and we rallied. We got all the way up here, and then we finally got a 3-bar reversal. You guys can see this 3-bar reversal. A 3-bar reversal is when the bar reversal, the market goes the opposite direction and crosses the previous candlestick's low. So I was looking at 339 I got 339.5. So you could see, forgive my horrible chart patterns on this, but right here at 7,339, right when we crossed, I shorted the market. We sold off. We bounced back. I added a third contract right on the test of that crossover. So you could see this is the nice line. I added it. And what I was looking for is I was looking for a push all the way back down to where we opened. So my target was 20,681. Most likely, I do see that there's some nice support here. So probably 20,690, 89. So this was my target, 680s from this point. Now, I'd put my stop loss there, and then this is a trade that I would go to bed. I would fall asleep. I would let this trade run overnight because I'm getting a good 4-to-1 risk reward. I would have my stop loss as soon as we start to break down. I'd have my stop loss at 750 right above that pivot. So let's say my stop loss would be right there. And so I'd be risking about 12, 13 points to make about 60. And I'd let this trade run overnight. I would go to bed, I'll wake up, and this either takes profit or not. But what this is this is a consolidation trade. We closed here at around 80. We opened up, and we rallied all the way up. We got overextended. I short on a 3-bar reversal, and I just look for a trade back down. And gosh dang, that just pissed me off. That could be so frustrating. That was such a good trade, Gabe.
It was.
That's okay, though. That is okay. We live and learn. Do not click the flatten all button unless you want to flatten everything in your account. So, lesson learned. Do not do that.
Just the close position button, 2 above that. That's all you want to do.
The close position button. Yeah.
Yep. And
on the net. And making sure that these are connected. Okay. Well, I'm learning. So that's why I said I love Topstep X. I love this feature, and I'm going to be learning. I'm going to continue to do this, and I'm going to go through these combines, try and get to XFAs and get into a live account on Topstep X. I have my live account on NinjaTrader 8. Topstep's amazing. They don't push you, say, hey, if you have a live account here, you must go here. No, they just say trade whatever platform you feel comfortable with. But to be honest, Topstep X now is becoming my favorite, and the fact that it's updating your statistics instantly is just on another level. So I'm excited. Topstep is able to get things like this and continue to add features. So I'm sold. I am transitioning to Topstep X. It's been a long time coming, and just like anything, I like to make sure I feel comfortable in it. Obviously, with these little tiny things, could you imagine if this was a live account and this was a 30 contract position and it closes me at market and 30 contracts at this time, it pushes it up 5 points. So getting comfortable is my number one priority. I like to do that, simulated environment, feeling comfortable, then go through. And of course, for my class, it's going to be about using these drawing tools. I'll figure out how to get these drawing tools a lot better. So anything else? Last comments before we go?
No, looking forward to seeing you. I think I'll be in the production box behind the scenes while you guys are on Fast Market. So I will see you in the morning, and everybody else in the chat. Good to see everybody. We have a fantastic night. I'm not seeing any other major questions. One thing I did want to point out for those that use Topstep X, they just did an update this evening. You can now hide your account name under the privacy settings. So that is now updated. In addition to all the other privacy settings that they have, you can now hide your account name. In addition to that, under the charts and data, you can now hide economic events. So if you do not like those little bubbles floating around at the bottom of your timeline, you can go ahead and hide economic events under the charts and data tab. So just a heads up, those are the 2 major updates that I wanted to point out, as that did literally just roll out maybe an hour ago.
Awesome. Great. And you know what? I'm going to love having you on Slow Markets to do the updates for me and help me do that. I always struggle with it, and I go back and forth with Danielle all the time. But you're going to be there. You're going to help me go back and forth and get these plugs in. I love it. So take care, Gabe. Maybe I see you tomorrow during Fast Markets or sometime. If not, I'll look forward to seeing you Thursday.
Sounds good.
And then we could talk behind the scenes and see if we could get something squared out that's going to be consistent.
Heck yeah, I'm ready.
All right, take care, everybody.
All right, later.